Good afternoon, everybody. Feel free to keep getting food if you haven't gotten your food yet. Welcome to the Chamber's March Speaker Series, last in our series for this fiscal year. We'll thank the staff here at the Camplex for providing the facility and to the Prime Rib for the wonderful food today. If we can give them a hand. So our guests with us today are Pastor Ron Whitehead, and is Vern here today too? I haven't seen Vern. We lost Vern. He didn't show up on the airplane. They must have checked him. So Pastor Ron is here with us today. I'm Gail Loafing, Executive Director at the Chamber. So right now, if I could invite Pastor Ron to lead us in the invocation, and Rusty Bell, if you could come and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, okay. You want to talk after Pledge of Allegiance? Okay. I'll let him sit down after that too. Okay. Let's pray. Father God, even though my voice is weak, I recognize you as the Creator God. We're better with you than without you. That's why we invite you to be a part of this gathering today. Bless all the businesses and responsibilities that we all have here assembled, and we pray it in your name. And all the people said, amen, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Ron. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. I just messed up Pastor Ron's all of his papers, and so let me find my place again. So right there. So first, I'll go ahead and recognize some elected officials that we have with us today. From the Cemetery Board, Jim Hastings is with us. From the Commissioners, we have Commissioner McCreary and Shellstad here today. From City Council, we have Councilman Jim West and Mayor Shay Lundvall. And from my Board of Directors, Debbie Zalnowski with Holiday Inn Express, Jamie Black with First National Bank, Jared Green with Yellowstone Vending, and Janelle Oberlander with Gillette College. As always, we're joined by some of our energizers. They're the face of our chamber, and we always appreciate having them here. If you'd like to raise your hands or stand up or, do a dance or something. Thank you all. And thank you to our President Circle investors who do support the chamber as top-tier investors, the Basin Electric Power Cooperative with the Powder River Energy Corporation, Campbell County Health, Campbell County Government, Peabody, and K-Square Technologies. So today our guest speaker is Pastor Ron Whitehead, who will provide us with an update on the Camporee event coming to Gillette in August 2024. Some of Pastor Ron's most recent ministry projects include an international camporee for over 50,000 participants and the development of the Church of Refuge congregations that support senior youth, young adults with their walk with Christ and their local church. Ron is married to an amazing woman, the former Betty Lou Becker. Together they have 3 young adult children, Stacy, Heidi, and Ryan. His hobbies include, but are not limited to, high-tech toys, classic cars, boats, and large events like passion plays. His favorite Bible text is John chapter 14, verses 1 through 3, because it reminds him not to sweat the small stuff. Jesus is coming again. So please help me give Pastor Ron a big Gillette welcome to the stage.
It's just great to be back in Gillette. Do you know how blessed you are to live in this community? Do you really get it? It's a beautiful place to call home. It really is. And I love my Holiday Inn Express. That's where I go. Is she here? The lady manager? Yeah, there you are. I asked about you last night if you're still working there, and they said yes. Because in this community, there's a little bit of turnover in different areas. Who's going to be? But not with Holiday Inn Express. You stay there at least through next summer, okay? Because we need you. Need you there. On the other hand, what I like to say about this community that you need to hear is there's a person that will speak here in just a moment. Her name's Cindy Young. She's from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and she'll express to you. I know that wasn't part of your presentation, but could you express your impression and what you experienced when you came? Gillette, I'd be curious for you to share. They've heard from me before, but Every staff person I bring to Gillette, every person that comes to your community, they just all come back with the same impression, how special it is and unique. The assets of the community, how you work together, and you know, every group of people, when you put groups of people together, you have to kind of flex and work, and you do that. But here's what I love about Gillette, one of many, is you take care of people, you know, you take care of your young, you take care of your old, and I see that as a reflection of your values here. So it's a great honor to present here today at Chamber. Thank you, Madam Chair, for offering this time to us. The next time that I'll meet with you will be in March of next year, 2024. When I meet with you in 24, I'll give you a report, most likely. We'll see how the world goes. But most likely, we'll give you a report of the Camporee being sold out, and I can show you exactly who's coming from all over the world. Today, we have a preliminary report that kind of surprised us. We didn't expect to have this to present to you today. But as business people and people that support business, you need to hear some of the information we're going to offer you. By the way, good to see Gillette College present in the room. People love your video. I don't know why. And it had nothing to do with me, by the way. They keep saying that lady there's energy coming off the screen. And you presented so well, the community in Gillette College, yeah. And we appreciate working with you and the facilities you're going to partner with that we can use. And yeah, I could just point people all over the room here that we've been in a journey. It's been, what, 2.5 years of conversation. And we remember the first time our new mayor here, the only guy I have to look up to in the whole room is right there. It's pretty impressive. Full-size guy. I told, yeah, and I'm excited for you. I think you're leading a great community, and the best days are ahead for Gillette. We just want to be a part of it, is what we want to report to you today. Well, let's do some preamble things. It's just fun. I just feel like I know most of it, even if I don't know you. I feel like I know you for some reason because I know this community so well. We love working with Aaron, by the way. We spent the last day and a half just going through a lot of nuts and bolts and things with him and his staff, and great selection. It's good you got out of Colorado and came north. We're happy you came up this way. I think I talked to Rusty a little bit. Housing, there's people moving in here, you know, and we got to work on housing to add some more support to some things. And it's good to see Rusty and his new role and what he's going to do for the community. I think I see our attorney here. It's always good to have an attorney in a room. I think so, yeah. Yeah, and didn't wear the tie. You didn't get the memo. Yeah, okay. And yeah, I just love being here. Well, Cindy, we'll start with you. How about that? Let's just go right to that. Cindy has been kind enough to volunteer to coordinate all the community service connections. And this community service definitely connects to nonprofits for sure, but if you have a business that could use some support from what we're about out of the college, or you have a business that could use some areas of support, painting or cleanup or whatever, we're very open to be a part. Well, she'll explain it to you. Cindy, introduce yourself a little bit and then tell us what you have to offer us.
Thank you. It's good to be back with you. I was here last month and talked with a lot of the nonprofits, and some of you were in the room at that time as well. Ron wanted me to share a little bit my impression of Gillette, and I spread your community wide as I go back to Tennessee and other areas I travel to. I've been here several times, and every time I come, everyone I speak with, it's across the board. It's the same. Y'all are genuine, you're caring, you're helpful. Everyone that I talk to. I know the last time I was here, I went inside Burger King to get my burger. Instead of going through the drive-through where I happen to be vegetarian, I thought that might be a little confusing, so I went inside. But you had several youth working there, and that was back in February, and a lady came back in as I'm waiting for my order, and she said, y'all need to, put some salt and stuff out there. I almost slipped. And I expected, once she walked back out, to see a couple of eye rolls and them looking at each other. But immediately, a fine young man went and got 2 different containers of salt. They had handles on them. Obviously, you do this a lot here. In Tennessee, not so much. But he went out, he made 3 trips out with 2 quart-sized containers and covered the area that people would be walking on. Came back in, went back and, kept doing his job. And I see that everywhere I go. Everybody's like, I'm helpful, I'm here, what can I do for you? You have a unique community. So many I've talked to grew up here, went away to school, got married, brought their spouse back, and they're back again. So many I talked to. So what you have here is very valuable, and it's not wasted on any of us that come and visit, and we're excited about joining you. I am not techie, but with some help here, I'll get my little PowerPoint going. Hopefully. I got this. Did it work? It did. Oh, no, yes. Okay. I presented about a 20-minute PowerPoint when I was with the nonprofits, and I've tried to cut that down a lot and just give you a few nuts and bolts and a little bit of an update of some of the projects that we already have in place after that meeting. The typical projects you think about is let's do some cleanup. Kids are really good at that if given the right direction. So we plan on that with the winds you have here. I hear that Donkey Creek area could use almost weekly cleanup of trash and things like that. So that's definitely an area that we will be working with. Weeding was another item that with all the parks that you have, which is amazing to me, I share that with everybody as well, the number of parks that you have here. But in that area and around schools is something that we're working towards. After I was here, the newspaper, Jonathan, came and interviewed me, and there was an article in the newspaper, I don't know if you saw it, about the community service and what we're hoping to do. And from that, my email was at the end. From that, I received quite a few suggestions from the community, and most of them were not a surprise for some of the ideas that your leadership already have. But one was, and I thought this was interesting, that they want us to paint the curbs in Gillette. Did you know that that was something that, so we're looking at all ideas, talking with people, but we want to do what you as a community want. We don't want to come in and say, this is what we want to do for you, but we want the leadership to do what you want. Perhaps a car wash, if there's a business that would provide the water, we could have several set up around your community where people could just pull in, have their car washed, and pull out for free. Beautification, there might be areas around your city that you would want to have some murals put in, or at the community center, have them along with Pathfinders do almost paint by number, and then it can be installed in different locations. So we're still working on that. Food collection, there might be designated places in the community where we would put out bags with a note that said, we'll be back on this date, and put whatever food you'd like. Then we take it to your local food bank facility, and then they could distribute how they feel they would need. Preparation and serving at a soup kitchen. We could certainly come in and do any prep work that needed to be done ahead of time or early in the morning, and help out in that way if we could. This is a photo, actually, of 2nd on the Avenue in the back room. I went over there. Have y'all been in 2nd on the Avenue? I love thrifting, and when I went in there, that is the most beautiful, the most organized. I don't know if you call it a thrift store, it looks like a boutique, that I've ever been in. And, but anyway, this is the back room where all these clothes they have that need to be sorted, and we could certainly have Pathfinders help to do something like that. This next slide is kind of what it looks like once they sort things. It is a beautiful place, and you can find that, well, I made a purchase, but I had only a carry-on, so I couldn't get too much. But anyway, that's an area that Pathfinders could help if you have quite a few things that need to be gone through. The Pathfinders could go and play games at either the Senior Center, the Living Legacy, or Primrose. and just spend time with them. Sometimes, I know the senior sitter, they come and go, but some of the other facilities, maybe children don't visit there as often. It would just be fun for them to have, play games or do things like that with them. Another suggestion we got actually from the newspaper was doing like delightful dialogues. This would be where we could come in and the seniors could sign up for a 15-minute slot, and we could have Pathfinders designated with certain questions to ask them, have another one there with a tripod and film it, and just get some of those special moments from seniors' life, and then send it to them or to the facility that they could share with them. And we could have pre-scripted questions if we knew particular things to ask a certain senior about. We also could do flag retirement ceremonies where people, the wind sometimes starts to mess up the flags that you have, and you want to retire them in the proper way, and Pathfinders are used to doing that. And so if there was a place that we wanted to have where Pathfinders could be set up and people bring their flags that they wanted to retire respectfully, we could help with that. Pathfinders love to build and help. Plant trees, and a lot of people have mentioned that that's something that they would like, a lot of your community, and yet we know there's a lot of challenges with that as well, so we're working with the right people at the right places to see if that's something that is an option. One thing that I've seen done before, which is I don't know, it's special to me. It brings back good feelings when I go past the exits. You have 3 exits right here on the freeway, and you could have thousands of bulbs that Pathfinders could help you plant on the sides as people go past your 3 exit. There's this bright spot in Gillette that kind of stands out that may make them say, hey, let's pop in, let's see what that's all about. So that might be something that you're interested in. This last one I'm showing of the ideas that I had was from Mount Pisgah here, and it's a monument. And you can see that, the water and mineral deposits can collect, and that's a slide that I shared before. I'll share a little bit more about that in a minute, but that's something Pathfinders can help with. You have a beautiful cemetery out there that's used in so many ways, and so if we can help with that, we'd like to. What Camporee can provide. This is what we're talking about, the Pathfinders coming and helping. We will provide a specific project leader for any project that your community has, and that project leader will work closely with your leader just to have a close communication and understanding with them. Pathfinder Power. We're hoping to be able to have as many Pathfinders on any project that you need, not to overwhelm you, but to have what you need for having hours of Pathfinder help that can do sorting, weeding, all of those things that can help you in any needs you might have. Transportation, we're working closely with your community. Keith, is that the name of the current person who works with buses?
School bus company.
The school bus company. Anyway, I think he's going to be working with Camporee and coordinating that. So we'll provide transportation to the site where the work is done. We will have additional adult supervision with every club, and I was asked yesterday, I think, what does a club mean? And a club can be as few as 2 Pathfinders up to, we have clubs with almost 200 Pathfinders. So any club that signs up to do community service, they will have at least 1 adult with them coming to do that as well. And then we will have identifying vests for our leadership and the leadership in the community so that everybody knows who to kind of look to when they have questions or direction and that kind of thing. And what you will provide as a community or as a project, a local project leader that can kind of spearhead it and be our person of contact. The supplies for your project. If you decided you wanted to do the daffodils on all the exits, you would supply the bulbs and the digging implements that might be needed for something like that. And I might mention on that as well, Pastor Ron and the organization that he is over there at the Center of Youth Evangelism have people that are willing to donate and resources that sometimes I wouldn't have access to. So when a project is set up and you have a project list, even at that point, you can contact me and we can work with the Center of Youth Evangelism and see if there's resources and donors that can help, help, and we can work together on the supplies for it. Also, knowledgeable adult help to help if you've got 100 Pathfinders out doing something, more than just one project leader probably who knows how we want it done is helpful. And I can mention that Just Serve with Angie Clam, who's here with us today, they are partnering with us to work with supplying the volunteers that your organization might need to have enough adult help that's trained and available for your project. If you feel like, well, there's just 3 of us in the office and we got to keep that running, and yet we want to sponsor this project, contact Angie, and she will be happy to work with you on that. I can tell you that we already have some projects that are in place. You may recognize this by the Rock Pile Museum. Robert sent this to me, and he is excited about having Pathfinders come out and paint the boxcar. He said this is a picture from 2014, so this maybe is in better shape than what it is now when you drive by, since it's been a few years. But with weather, of course, that needs to be done. He is working on, and hopefully we'll be able to finalize. Isn't this a pretty picture? This is the Rock Pile Museum too, did you know that? He sent this to me, and he would like to pull out the bushes, do some re-landscaping, and put in some native plants there identified that are unique to the Powder River Basin. And so that just is an extension of what the Rock Pile Museum is all about. You go in there and you're overwhelmed with all the information and just everything about it, and he just even wants the outside. But he's working on the details of that and what all's needed, so we're hoping that that will be a project. And talking with your Habitat for Humanity, there may not be a new home build at that time, but there's a lot of projects that for seniors and others that qualify that are smaller projects that Pathfinders can help with, that they have handymen that go out and would oversee, and Pathfinders can come and in 2 or 3 hours make a real difference for some of these projects. And they want at least 2 projects for every session. We're planning to start our community service on the Tuesday afternoon when Camporee starts, and do a morning and afternoon session through Friday. So there'll be 7 different sessions. And Darren, I must say, this is another picture I think I gathered from the paper from past years, but Darren had an email proposal and everything by the evening of our nonprofit meeting about the project that he wanted to have done at the cemetery. He's well organized, he knows what he wanted, and I love this. This is perfect for Pathfinders. He said there's almost 6,500 monuments that need to have the water and mineral residue removed, and 1,100 tombstones. And they work on that every summer, but to have the power of 2 or 3 Pathfinders around each one and going from one to the other, and well-trained, and he trains people every summer, so he has a system. The only thing he's not sure of is how many he needs, because he's got to get, and I don't know if Darren, I thought I'd seen Darren here earlier. Oh, there you are. He's got to get some unsuspecting youth and kind of give them a minimal training like he would do our Pathfinders, shoot them out there and time it and see how long it takes. So that's on his list of things to do, and then we'll know exactly how many we need. But we're excited to be here, to know the ideas, to work with you. We want to give back because we want our youth to know that's part of being the person that you want to be. And your community is very much into volunteerism and giving back. I can look at the information that I see either through the newspaper or some Facebook pages and all of that, and the hours that y'all already donate to each other for different projects is amazing. And so we're just happy to partner with you on that. Our goal for the week of Camporee, those 5 days when we're here, or 4 days when we'll be doing service, is 20,000 community service hours. That might be limited to the projects that qualify, or it might be limited to the transportation that we have to get to projects. But that's what we would like to do for you and to give back. So do you have any questions right off? If you're thinking of one, maybe somebody else is as well. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, give her a hand of applause. She was not excited about having to make a presentation. But I think you did really good, Cindy. Come on. I mean, you got to be happy. And you got the technology going. She did really good. Appreciate her volunteerism and connection. Reason it's important to the Camporee for 2 reasons. One is we want to leave more than cash in the community. We're going to leave a lot of cash. We're told by last place we were, it's over $20 million. But it's not just leaving money. We want to leave memory and assets and support that goes beyond cash. And the second reason we have community service is such a high priority, and we appreciate Cindy's leadership in this area, is, you know, life is, for young people today, they got to be reminded, life is not about me, myself, and I. It's about taking care of others along the way. And even as they're raising money for 2 or 3 years to come to Camporee here in Gillette, Wyoming, it's also about while you're in Gillette, why not make a difference in Gillette and give some back to the community. So it's a modeling, leadership modeling. That's why we're focused on those 2 areas. Well, I think April, you're coming up right now. We'll have you do that. And April is the website population person, and she's going to talk about what the website tells you. You can keep up with the Camporee, all kinds of details of camp, more than you want to know in what she's going to share with you. Back to community service. I think of my friends that are building all the roads. We were chatting about that, and I says, every time I come out here, we've been studying for 3 years how Sturgis connects to Gillette or doesn't, and that kind of thing. We actually have staff that have been out here doing car counts, and we can tell when your area out here is the most busy and it's less busy, and we've done all kinds of research and information gathering about all these details of the community so we can fit into the community. Because we don't want to do something to the community, we want to do something with the community. You got to hear that clearly. A lot of events come and we want to do something but we want to do something with the community. There's a big difference. And we've loved working with different aspects of leadership in this community to accomplish that. So I'm thinking of big truck guys. I asked you guys, can you not have road construction when I'm bringing in my little crowd and all my friends from around the world? And you smiled, very kind. You're nice guys. They're sitting right over there. See those guys over there? And they, our season to get some things done is really short. And so, yeah, there's going to be road construction. I think you said it over there. Yeah, I said, okay, well, we'll start communicating that. That's good information for us to have because we'll just say, just be patient. It's going to be change and that kind of thing. But my favorite thing to tell people is you can actually, when it's open road, you can go 80 miles an hour. People are excited back east about that. They're just really. So every time I come to Gillette, I take a picture, Mr. Cam, of one of the speed signs, and I say on my Facebook, guess where I am? And then people relate really well all over that. But tell us about the website. This is information. If I was a business person or support of a business person, how do I get information about Camporee? Where does the one-stop shop? And tell us, April, and introduce yourself a little bit, please. Sure.
Hi, thank you so much for having us here today. And again, my name is April. I am from Georgia, just a stone's throw from Cindy, just across the Tennessee-Georgia line. And I've been with Camporee for quite some time. Started with Pathfinders when my kids were just really little and got them involved with it. It's just such a great program, and just love the philosophy of Pathfinders and what it does for our young people. And Pastor Ron had asked me to be involved with on-site communication several years ago. I got involved with that, and then also with the website. I have a passion for communication, and so doing content for the website is just something I really enjoy doing, because I know as a Pathfinder leader, director over the years, and having that experience, that our clubs and our kids and our staff, there's information that they need to know before they come to such a large event. And even while they're at the event, there's things for them to sign up, and there's schedules, and just a lot of things going on. So We just need to be sure that we're communicating that out to all of our Pathfinders. The other component of that is that because we're in a new location this coming fall or next fall, is that we want to be sure that our Pathfinders get the opportunity to know more about Gillette. And I just want to share a little story. This is my first time here. And I've heard the stories from Pastor Ron about the community. Cindy has shared stories with me over the last couple days that we've been together about the community. But I got to experience it firsthand this morning. We stopped at the newspaper, the Gillette News Report, record, yes. And we talked to Eric and Jake. Eric, the general manager there, because we were reading, some of us are kind of connected into the newspaper, and Pastor Ron or Cindy would send me articles and say, hey, this would be a great thing to put on the website. But we were having difficulties with that because when I clicked on the link, without a subscription, our folks couldn't see the news articles about Gillette. So we stopped in and we talked to Eric this morning and Jake, and we shared with them kind of, our conundrum and wanted to just make sure that we can share the beauty about your community with our clubs and with people that are coming. And so he said, oh yeah, we can do this and we can do that, we can do this. And if there's an article that you want to put on the Camporee website, no problem. We'll send you the PDF and you can put it right on your website. So I'm going to be, when I get home, I'm going to be creating a web page just for the Gillette newspaper so that we can post articles there about Gillette, things that you're doing to prepare for us to come, but also in a way to introduce our Pathfinders to the community of Gillette. So that hospitality that they've been talking about, it's really amazing. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of this and be here with your community. And thank you so much for being so gracious to us and everything. So let me just tell you a little bit about some of the different ways that we communicate, not only with our Pathfinders, but ways that you can glean information from the website that you might have interest in and want to know more about the Camporee. Yep, I'm having technical difficulties. Adam, it won't let me start the slideshow. Yes, Cindy, you do have that effect on technology. Well, I'll just have to click through it. Let's go to that second slide there. Okay. There you go. Okay. Go to the second slide for me, please, if you can back up. It's the one with the ice cream. Pastor Ron's favorite, and I might say that both Cindy and I enjoy ice cream too, and that was the first thing I asked her is like, are we going to have time to go by the ice cream shop? So one of the things that, again, the website, we have an area on the website where we have all the Meet Gillette videos. And that's one of the ways Pastor Ron has been doing a lot of videos, interviewing many of you and your businesses to help our clubs get to know what's here in Gillette. So all of those videos are nested on the website under Meet Gillette. And so there's several different things that we're doing to help our Pathfinders know what businesses are around and available. You can go to the next slide. Also, we want to make sure that Pathfinders know some of the things that they're going to be able to do while they're here. One of the things that they're going to be able to do with their offsite activities is go to or participate in a golf tournament. And so as much information as we gather and as we get, we place it up on the website. And as the days go by and more off-site activities are planned and more community service things are planned, that'll all be populated on the website. So we're just going to be able to really show the community just the beauty of Gillette and what is here, and that it is a happening place. It might, a lot of people say, well, Gillette is so tiny. But as we were driving through town, buzzing here and there across town, I'm like, this place is really hopping, it's really nice. So one of the other things that Pastor Ron's been doing that we've been putting on the website, if you want to go to the Facebook Live events, are the Facebook Live events. I don't know if any of you have had a chance to see those. One of the ways, if you want to see what's going on, or if you want to go back and look at a past Facebook Live event, it's really easy. If you hop onto our website, camporee.org, and you just type into the search bar Facebook or Facebook Live, the link will come up to the web page, and you can just click on that. And if you want to, oh, yeah, just stay there. You'll be able to see all the Facebook dates where there's going to be a Facebook Live. And you can see from the screenshot there that the next one's going to be April the 10th, just in a little few weeks, about 3 weeks away. So on those events, that's where, again, Pastor Ron or someone, they'll introduce someone from the community, or they'll talk about things that Pathfinders need to know. And then those Facebook Lives are placed on the website. Next slide. So the upcoming Facebook Live events are the first Sunday of the quarter. And then I'll go to the next slide. The other tool for communication is our e-newsletter. And any of you can sign up for the newsletter if you'd like. It's something that's put out mostly on a monthly basis every month. And as that comes out, there's a lot of information on there that you can glean. That's where we put a lot of the links for some of the articles that you guys have right here in Gillette from the newspaper. So the easy way to do that, if you just go on to the home page of the website and you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's an area there, it says newsletter. Just simply click that to subscribe, and then you'll be able to see for yourselves what we're talking about every month, the information that we're sending out as we ramp up for the Camporee. Next slide. The e-newsletter also, one of the things that we highlight in the newsletter is Pastor Ron's top 10 things. Every newsletter, he's got top 10 things, whether about Gillette or about the Camporee. But again, the newsletter just highlights information about the Camporee and about Gillette. And the next slide, please. We want to make sure that we promote the Gillette community. So as they're scrolling through the newsletter, at the bottom we have an area there where they can click on. And thank you so much for the website that you guys have provided, that you link for the Camporee Pathfinder participants, that they can get information themselves about Gillette in the areas around Gillette. So we want to make sure that we're promoting the Chamber of Commerce and everything that's happening here in Gillette. So we link that with our newsletter as well. The newsletter, or the newspaper, the newsletter, all of the tools that we use for communicate are just really important. It's how we keep everybody kind of on the same page, and as the excitement builds for Pathfinders, because when we start to get this time of year, they're thinking about the Camporee next year. They're planning their fundraising and all these kind of activities, and the excitement is really going to start to build now. And Pastor Ron, I don't know if that's where you want me to share information about the tickets? Okay. Sure.
Okay, here's what you want to know as a business person. The advantage of getting on the newsletter database, or have a staff person in your organization root around the website, the more you can understand our event, the more you can interface with us. Let me give you an example. We're going to be having, I guess, your bike shop. The couple that owned it for many years, they've actually sold it a couple of young guys over there. They're very ambitious. I met them. And I got some, they're not guns. They're, what do they call these squirt things? No, they send out, they splat you. Yeah, that's what they, and my kids love it. Yeah, paintball, thank you. And help me as much as you can. So yeah, we got that. But we're also buying bikes. We're buying between 60 and 100 different mountain bikes. So we're bidding everything. Business people need to know this. We bid everything over $5,000 3 times. Our preference is to put money in the community, not to buy a Trek bike from Denver. And so we'll be right up front with you. There's no shell game. The Camporee doesn't play that way in the area of economics and finance. We'll show you exactly what bids we're getting, and if you can match it, or do better, of course, we're always open for that. But at least if you can match it, we're happy to put dollars here, and instead of shipping things in, and that's signage and all kinds of things. I think we've talked to Sign King. What are they name here in town? Yeah, that's the place. Thank you, Madam Chair. Help me out. Help me out as much. You're doing a good job for me, too. Here's what we were amazed at. When a person buys a ticket to come to International Camporee, we're amazed at the numbers. In the last, right now, usually it's 2,000 or 3,000 people register because non-refundable. When you buy a ticket, you own it. It's like you buy a Super Bowl ticket, it's done. You don't call back and say, oh, I'm planning not to come anymore. You know, it's actually your ticket. You got it. So here's what we're finding. In the last 7 days, we've grown 1,000 tickets have sold in 7 days. We've never had, unless we're right at the end. And then 10,000 tickets will sell in 24 hours. But look at our numbers. Is that on the screen there? Can you pop that up there? Here's my friend. Is the battery dead? Probably. You see what it is. It's always, oh yeah. That's going to make the difference. I feel it already. Yeah. Techie people, your job is secure. You know that? Till the Lord comes, you guys are going to be valuable. I just think it's a whole industry that we all can't live in our businesses without them now. By the way, it's good talking to our airport manager and his associate. We have clubs trying to charter planes to bring them in. They're asking me how long's the strip, how big a plane can we bring? And of course, we're working, as we're together, working with United Airlines out of Chicago, their corporate office, seeing what we can do. Can we size up the planes that are dropping in here? And the kids are, but yeah, here's, why don't you pop that up, or is he going back? Yep, he's going back. Yeah, I'll show you our numbers currently and where they're coming from. You might want to see this, but I'm sure you will, actually. Typically, we have 4,000 a year and 4 months out. But right now, as you can see on the screen, if you go to the top right-hand side, you'll see it's 7,746, and that went up 1,000 in the last 7 days. I was in Chicago this weekend with a South Korean, if you will, group of Pathfinders, and they were all enthusiastic, and they're inviting all their friends from South Korea. It's interesting to see where they're coming from. If you go back up to the top, you'll see the international. Like from East Africa, there's 222. You'll see the Caribbean area, 79. Puerto Rico's bringing 32. You can see those numbers, and you can go to the website and see them all later. I'm not going to walk through it. So this is already happening. Ready or not, the International Camporee is coming to Gillette, Wyoming. It's coming. And let me give you some highlights of what that means. And I'm going to go to my little PowerPoint. Can you give a hand of applause for April and for her help here today? Thank you, April. Keep going, April. 2 more years, or a year and 4 months, Let me tell you how the community needs to prepare in broad terms, and then we'll have a quick Q&A if we have time. You stop me because I'm not watching my cell phone, so you can do that. I can tell. Yeah, you'll do it. Let's just tell you, these are introduction. I've gone over this with several people in the room, but by the way, I just want to brag about Jessica Cedars and her staff. The video, she was genius. The videos we put together, those little video packages introducing like our college and other, they have gone viral all over the world. People love watching them. They love the terrible humor in them. And they love seeing you. Because we had a hard time explaining Gillette. So we said, this is Jessica's dream idea. Why don't we let Gillette present itself? And we did that. And it's a model being picked up by other large events around the world. They're seeing what's going on in Gillette. And I've talked to some other large event people. They said, that was genius. I said, yeah, I got a friend, Jessica. Okay, here we go. Let's go with this international community. Here's what, number one, you want to pop that up there? We're going to tell the community, why don't you purchase your meditations? Well, they could do that. But let's do medications. Let's have you purchase your medications by Friday. And enough medications to go for that week. That would be an important thing to do. Number two, why don't you get some food before we come? You know what I'm saying? So you want to get all your food by Friday on the 2nd. That's something else we're going to put out to the community. Well, get your food. You can live a week. You have big refrigerators. We all do. We can go a week. But that's something you might want to do. Also, I would add to that, probably that's not the best restaurant night when you want to take your wife out or your spouse, I don't think that week is going to be. I had prime rib last night. By the way, we need to give a hand of applause for the food providers today. Maybe we did already, probably. Yeah, we did. But Ken and his crew, we were there last night. My tummy's still happy. But restaurants, everything, half the group's vegetarian. We tried to explain that over and over. And those that do eat meat, and many do, it's usually fish or clean fish. You have to go to the Old Testament, kind of explain what I probably need to do better at that. And then you have the beef is good, chicken's great. So I'll get more information out about what that dietary needs. So it's about half and half. If you go to food, we need the community to buy their food. Don't go to the grocery store when we're here. Please don't. It's going to be lines. We have people that think you can pay in different currencies. They're still, this is their first big trip abroad, and just help everybody know that. Number 3 is fuel. For your jet skis, when you go out to the lake, for your lawnmower, or just fill up all your vehicles. There's no use going to the fuel station because there's thousands of vehicles coming to our Camporee and coming to your community. So you want to, fuel's a good thing. Just top everything off. It kind of sounds like a storm, doesn't it? But it's not, Madam Chair. It's not. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We're only here, though, 6-7 days. Okay, but it's going to be fun. But just prepare like anything. This is something, business community, if you can put the word out, there's a great opportunity to rent your home through Airbnb or just do it direct. You can post it out. If you have apartments, RVs, I notice everybody in this community owns at least one RV. Or I've seen some houses with 2. I said, well, I'm trying to get one. How do they do that? But you love outdoors. I was 9 years in Denver. I know similar culture. We like to get out on the weekends and away and camp and nature. And so if you have an RV and you want to rent it, you can put it on the RV share site. Just post whatever number you want. And they would, I'm sure you could rent and make some dollars there. Also, when you know large events, and that's what my specialty area is, my background business where I did ministry, when you go to large events around the world, whether it's the Super Bowl or if you go to Indy 500, the largest spectator event in the world, which I go to every 2 years just to see how they're doing people flow and the security issues and safety. People in the community are used to people coming, and it's inconvenient for some, and they don't have a business to connect to it or something, so they take vacation that week. Think about that. It's a great week to go see the rest of America or the Caribbean or something. I don't know. But, I'm just being honest with you. It's if you think as a community, it is a possibility of opportunity to make some dollars and, that'd be your time to go away if that's something you want to do. Or if you're here, it's fine. We'd love having you because we need a lot of you here still, by the way. But that's some interesting thoughts that I would share about motorhomes. We have one fella I met with last week in Orlando, Florida. He's one of the corporate sponsors. He represents I heard $13 billion business. He has 8,000 employees. And he heard we're coming to Gillette, Wyoming. He's excited that we're coming to Gillette. He's always wanted to see Gillette. He likes Wyoming. And he's bringing his big bus, Provost, what's the word? Yeah, it's something costs more in my house. And he's going to bring it here, and he's going to line it up right out here in Camplex, and he wants to spend the whole week here. Normally, he flies in with his corporate jet, does the meet and greet, and then goes, but not with Gillette. He wants to see, he's watched your videos, Jessica. He actually wants to meet the Walmart guy. Is he still with us? Is our Walmart friend here today? Is he? Yeah, okay. Well, he's getting help, I'm sure, wherever he is. We hope we see him again. So number 5 is volunteer support. It's about 1,000 Pathfinders a day going to community service. You had a full report on that. Actually, we're going to push it to 5,000 a day is what we'd like to do if we have enough transportation, enough projects. It's not 5,000 at one time. It's 2,500 in the morning, 2,500 in the afternoon. So it divides it up. But if it drops back to 1,000, that'd be 5 and 5. Whatever the community needs are, we like to respond to it. And my guys that drive the big trucks out there and rebuild all the highways that are going to be exciting for us to navigate, you can't help that. It's what it is. We'd love to wash your trucks. Just put that on the community service list. Just give us your baddest, biggest, dirtiest trucks. And then I'll put a lot of little people on it, and they'll work at it, and you'll be surprised how we can clean those things up. So just thought I'd put it out there. So you know about community service and the importance of it to us. Number 6, there's a Saturday afternoon parade at 2 p.m., And there's a rumor going around. Every large event has rumors, and we have our share, and we're going to have more, okay? And right now, what I want to give you, if you have a pen, piece of paper, I'd like to give you my personal cell phone number. And the reason I like to give that to you is because if you hear something that just sounds, that can't be, hopefully it's, most of the time you're right, it can't be. And if it is, I need to be able to explain it. So I'm going to give you my cell phone. And you can call me, text me is best because of how I travel and where I go. 269 area code. That's where I am there in Southwest Michigan. 269-208-1344. 1344. And so I'm the executive director. You have access to me. Don't let information that makes you uncomfortable keep stirring through your head. Come right to me and ask me what's going on. I'm happy to do that. But this is an example of the rumor mill. There's a downtown parade. We're excited about that. The Pathfinders actually have to audition online to get a part of the parade. And so the drum corps, the drill teams, the people, the cultural dress that you'll have down through town. And we're hoping to borrow a few convertibles from people that have a few convertibles in town. We need because we're going to put some VIP people in there. At least they think they're VIPs. We're going to put them in the car and drive them right through. I'd like to get our mayor in a big car because he's a big guy. I think we need to do that. We need to have him go right through town. But the rumor was that the downtown parade included the Camporee Pathfinders coming to the downtown parade. That's not true. That would be a nightmare. That would be leadership malpractice at every level. You need to vote us all out, and then is that how that works? No, actually, it's only the kids coming down on the school buses. They'll all line up, queue up, they'll go through town, and then they'll come back out to Camplex. So it's a community day. I talked with Jessica, brainstorming. It'd be this thing, my wife goes, sometimes it's called Christmas in August or something. If the community's downtown anyway, and after we go through town, it might be great for the businesses to stay open a little extra and have some fun, or do something, I don't know, or do nothing. It's up to you, it's your community. But I'm just throwing you ideas. So that's what the downtown parade, keep going. I think we have a couple more. This is a disappointment. I wish I could snap my fingers and bring you all to the evening program because it's world class. It takes 26, they tell me 23 to 26 semi-trailers just to bring in our staging. It's one of the largest theatrical stages in the world is coming. And I wish you could experience the evening program and see but you still can. You can't be there present because we have parents that give responsibility of their kids to us, and everybody has background checks and minors and the world we're in right now, way back. So, but we're going to stream it, and we're going to get it on cable or whatever, so you can sit at home, put your feet up, favorite beverage, and watch the evening program. So we got that happening. And working with Camplex here, with Aaron, our executive director, and others, we're going to make sure that feed is really strong for the community. The traffic, we need to just say it. It's going to be a lot more traffic. It's just, you have these big, beautiful roads that just, from my context where I come from, it's like a 4-lane highway, and it's 35 miles an hour. And that's great because everybody's going slow and everything. But if we had those highways back where I come from that big, it would be a different speed limit because we're all trying to. So people that are coming here are going to have to get into the mindset, and we're going to do our part to educate them to slow it down, even though there's a lot of space, a lot of openness. But we have the Aussies coming. I just was with them in January. We have the New Zealanders coming. I talked to some folk from Papua New Guinea just recently. And the England crowd's coming from London. There's a whole big group coming out of London. And they might try to be finding lanes, the right lane. It's our lane. Get on our side of the road. So we're going to talk to they're pretty good at it, but there might be moments when they're making turns. Like if you've ever traveled to their countries, you know what I'm talking about. But traffic's going to be more. The international accents will be all over the community. You'll hear. Be prepared. Any ice cream. We have 2 ice cream shops in town. I always talk about Ice Cream Cafe because, I don't know, I have a tab there, I guess, or something. It sounds really bad, doesn't it, for a pastor to say that? But we have 2 great ice cream. But if you're in ice cream business, I would say keep your business open in town and then be a part of the food court here at Camplex. I would try to do both if you have the personnel, staff, and the product to do it. Taco Bell always runs out of beans. Half our group's vegetarian. The last 2 times Taco Bell ran out of all the beans, they had to bring a semi-truck in just to supplement the beans because it's fast as they can make it. If you're a pizza delivery service, pizza place, you're going to be slammed. As much pizza as you can make will be consumed by the Pathfinders. Typically what they'll do is they'll order like a stack of like 5 boxes of whatever pizza, and they have to meet you at the gate. You can't come onto the property, but they'll tell you what gate to meet them at, and then you'll transfer the product, and they go out to the assembly area. And a lot of clubs will sit there 2 and 3 hours in advance, eat their pizza, and sit so they get the best seat for the evening program. So if you're into DoorDash, if your company or organization offers food that way, we just need to make sure it's on our website that we introduced April. You can go right to April, tell her we want it on. You have direct access to if your business, what you offer the Camporee, there's no screening that we go through, heavy screening. If it's something that you think fits who we are and what we're about, we'll put you on the website right now. We'll put you in the newsletter, the monthly newsletter. If you have something that a service or product you're offering that you think Pathfinders want to know about, please let us know. No cost. We just want you to be highlighted. And then, so if I was a business, I would try to figure out this Camporee thing. They really are in a bubble. They're not coming. They would go anywhere in the world. We ask them to go. It just happens that we're bringing them to Gillette, Wyoming. So it's a bubble of sorts. And how it works is the food prep and everything's here at the campground, and they go off-site to do daytime activities, do community service and other things with camp, at our college and other things, and then they come back to Camplex. Most of the cars are parked into the campground area, and when they arrive, they keep them there until closing night, which is Saturday night. And then Saturday night, after the final program, and if it works out, that we can have the fireworks with the support of our fire people. After the fireworks show, you'll be surprised how quick the Pathfinder City here at Camplex goes away. By 10 a.m. Sunday morning, no doubt by 11, you'll look through this whole place and everybody will be gone. They'll be driving all night Saturday night, and they'll be out early Sunday morning. They'll be gone. So the load-in, there's a setup week, and the load-in is about 40,000 arriving on Monday, and then another 15,000, if you will, on Tuesday. All activities start at 12 noon Tuesday, and then evening program starts that night at the assembly area, okay? Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, the closing night, and then that's how the flow goes right there. So if you can just support Pathfinders for your prayers, your thoughts and prayers, and then they're traveling to see the Camporee and this community, Campbell County. And I thought those are some of the tips I'd want to know, even though we're a year and 4 months out. It just helps you kind of get your head around what's coming and why and what's happening. Any questions you have briefly? I think we're down to the last maybe 3-4 minutes. And then just 2 or 3 questions. Any questions you have? There's no bad question, by the way. Yeah, for these. I'll try to get a little bit more water here.
Historically, how has Camporee affected locations at banks or many money servicing places?
Yeah, this is a disappointment at the last location with some businesses in particular, and then the bank system couldn't support them. We ran out of cash at the last Camporee. A lot of Pathfinders bring cash. A lot run credit card and that kind of thing, but we ran out of cash, and it really compromised the businesses in the community. So every business here, if you're doing business with Camporee or Pathfinder, you'll want to work with your local bank to make sure there's plenty of cash. As far as transfer of dollars, currencies from one country to another, we're trying to get them to do it at the port of entry, where it's LAX or Denver or JFK. So we're trying to educate our crowd not to come here and expect, even though my staff, my finance staff, has a lot of dollars that we can transfer. People get stuck for different reasons, and we try to help them out. But the banks need to know it's going to be, need a lot of cash, because they don't all use credit cards like I do. I don't have cash. I don't even carry cash. Yeah, give me another good question. Come on. You've heard a rumor. Give me a good rumor. I love good rumors, too. Nothing there?
I heard you're going to break the world record with shaving.
Yes. It's Gillette, Wyoming, right? So we're in a production meeting, Mr. Mayor, at my office, and I have a lot of young adults around me. You got to visualize, I have 450 young adults studying for ministry. I teach them youth ministry thing. And so we have brainstorm sessions. I said, what would y'all do? What would you think? And they're always, they have no limitations because they're young people. They don't understand life yet. So we let them have that. And they said, well, we're in Gillette, Wyoming. I said, well, we're looking for a world record to do with the community, in the community. What is a world record? And then we started thinking, and I'm happy to tell you, I came up with the idea. But it wouldn't have happened without them being around me, pushing me. So well, how about this? How about that? And I thought, oh, at home I have Gillette razor, right? And there's Gillette, Wyoming. So I had my graduate assistant contact a Gillette razor company, and we're in dialogue right now. We have been for a year. I don't know why it takes so long. It's going up corporate ladder, another organization. But the marketing people loves it. They're going to sponsor a world record, which costs about $19,000 to $20,000 to bring the world record judge from England here to be on site so they can validate it at the moment. None of this, months and months later. So they're talking about sponsoring that, and we're going to have the world's largest first-time shavers thing or something. So Gillette's going to bring the supply, Gillette Razor Company, in Gillette, Wyoming, and we're going to have some fun with that. The other thing, as a business person, and I've talked to some people in this room about this, start thinking bigger. A big event offers you visibility that goes beyond just your county, but it goes statewide, and it potentially has a national impact opportunity. So as you think about you're entrepreneurial people. I have to give you a lot of credit. Through the pandemic, I watched how innovative and creative, especially your downtown area and all, was to get the message out, buy local, and how there's a lady that does, what's that stuff, greenware, and then you fire it, and I forgot, pottery stuff. She's down there. I met with her, lovely lady, and she figured out she put things in bags, and then people come to the door, and she transferred, and they come back, she fires it. She figured her way forward. And Gillette's a very entrepreneurial. You go through, look at your history. It goes like this, but you always figure out how to get to the next place, And the building we're sitting in, the whole complex is such an unique opportunity you have to connect to more entrepreneurial ideas. But think about how you can connect to Camporee in an economic way and complement us. But in the area of world records, I don't know, Good Morning America. We did a Good Morning America shot one time. We had 55, we think about whoever your marketing person is for your county, your state, whoever you interface with. It's a unique opportunity to get Gillette, Wyoming out to the world and who you are and what you're about in this community. So I'll conclude. One more thought? You have one more, and then we're done. Yeah. Or is there two more? I'll be real quick.
Okay, super fast. The parade that you're talking about, is that down Gillette Avenue, or sometimes we move our parades other places?
I don't know. I keep hearing it moving in different places. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I do know this. Back to the rumor. There is no. Typically, historically, we've done a parade and then a rally at the end for the community, talking about issues that are important to them. I think the last place we were did a rally, gangs, and they had graffiti issues and all that. A lot of things we don't have issues here. That's what they wanted. So we brought in an athlete that talked to that about value in your community. It worked really good. But with what we're doing here, for our first time, we're just going to do the parade, but no rally at the end. But I don't know. They're working out logistics. Who's the Thai guy that I like so much? Solly. He's the best. Solly's working the detail on this. And he's working with our guy who's very enthusiastic. He's a great guy. So we'll have that definitely months and months and months in advance so everybody knows what's going on. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, I was wondering, since you said you work in ministry, is this denominational or non-denominational?
Oh, it is. It's a faith-based club organization through the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and it's offered to the whole community. That's the background to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thought, that's a good question. Thank you for offering that. And I think we're all over the website, and we talk about it all the time. Yeah. But all the clubs, we have clubs coming from every faith, every background. It's a lot of single parents will send their kids to clubs because there's not a good male role model in their lives right then. And so they want their kids around people that have some values of Scripture and some values. Pathfinders teaches outdoor skills. A lot of kids don't know how to build I know this is odd to you, how to build a fire, how to make a fire happen. And so these guys teach them how to build fire. And then this drill and march talks discipline and organization. God and country are very important to Pathfinders. We're excited to take care of the veterans downtown in the cemetery. That's a big deal to us. We're talking about Desmond T. Doss. There's a movie that Mel Gibson made a couple of years ago about Desmond T. Doss. He was a fellow that decided to go in the military, World War II, got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He's an Amish Christian, and he decided not to bear arms. He just felt that was, in our faith community, you can do that. You can do that, or you can choose not to. We'll support you either way. But he decided, he has an amazing story how he saved a lot of people that weren't very happy he was a Christian and not bearing arms. He wouldn't carry a weapon, but he proved himself in a different way to contribute to his group. And Mel Gibson's movie, I've forgotten the name of that movie. Hacksaw Ridge is what it's called. I've met with all your pastors in this community. We've had, 2 meals, I think, inviting them to gather together. There's no ministerial association, which I was hoping to plug into and connect to. And I challenged one of the guys that has one of the larger churches out. I think it's non-denominational. I said, you should do this. I've been telling him. I visited our Catholic priest here in town. He's somewhat new. At least this was a year and a half ago. Visiting him. Nice guy. He gave me some insights about community, especially community service and things. And there's a good group in this town. They learn how to work together and support each other. I'm really impressed with that. So, yeah, but that's what's going on at Camporee. I'll conclude with this story. Last time we were here, we made this presentation. Thank you for sitting there because you're helping me again. I know, you're doing a good job. 4 more years. We made a presentation, talked about the international guests. There was someone in the audience that told me that in World War II, he was in France. And there's some issues that happened with his unit. He got separated. And there was a French family that took him in, took care of him, fed him, took care of him, and everything. And when he heard there's clubs coming from France, he says, I own a ranch out here, and I would love for you to put me in contact with the Pathfinders coming from France, that I can invite them to come early and come to my ranch, and I'll show them a good Wyoming time, as they took care of me years ago. That's how I want to give back, he said. And that's another illustration of this community. They get it. It goes beyond just getting by. We're going to tolerate an event. We're going to join the event and be a part of the event. So we thank you for that. All right, well, I think I'll hand it back to our Madam Chair, and thank you so much for your time today. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We always appreciate coming and talking to us and letting us know what's going on. Yeah. I think everybody needs to also recognize Jessica and Stephanie from the Visitor Center. They've worked really, really hard on this for the past couple of years. Now, I'll quickly let you know about some of the upcoming events at the Chamber, because this is our busy week for us, busy month. So tomorrow at 8 a.m. at the Chamber Boardroom is our Chat with the Chamber. It's a free event, and we'll be hearing from our workforce development training people about their training grant fund grant, whatever, and how it can help you in your business, how you can apply for it, and they've changed the rules a little. So come and learn about that. On Thursday night, we'll have our mixer hosted by the Gillette College Foundation at the main campus building. So I think that will be a barrel of fun. It is Luck of the Pronghorn, I believe, is the theme. Mixers are free and open to the public, and it's a great way to network and meet people in the community. This weekend is our home show. It's our 30th annual home show at the Wyoming Center. So we're working closely with Camplex and the staff and getting prepared for that. We'll be setting up on Friday, and the show will run Saturday from 9 to 5, Sunday from 10 to 3. Again, free and open to the public. And March 30th is our legislative wrap-up, starting at 6:30 a.m. at the Senior Center. So you can come and talk to your legislators and quiz them on what they did down in the session this last year. And then finally, on March 31st is a ribbon cutting for the Rockpile Museum Association, and it will be held at the Camplex Central Pavilion. Don't have the time. I think it's at 4:30. We do have a new event coming up on April 11th. It's called Chamber Perks. It is kind of geared toward our new members, but it's open to anybody. It's a brown bag lunch, so bring your lunch, come to the Chamber boardroom, and we'll cover some of our different programs and services that we offer at the Chamber and show you how you can use your membership a little more effectively. And last but not least, we are in full swing planning the downtown Thursday nights concerts again. So those will be back in June. If you are interested in being a sponsor, we're still looking for some sponsors. So you can talk to me, Jessica, or Tracy and let us know, and we'll get you hooked up. Thanks again to Pastor Ron and his team for coming today. We really appreciate that. And thank you all for attending. We hope you have a great week. We hope to see you at some of our events. Okay, and Pastor Ron's going to hang out. If you have questions you want to ask him one-on-one, feel free.